Okay, dear students, last day we have started with respiration. There we have learned what is the definition of respiration and how this respiration occur in multicellular organism. Exclusively in the human we have learned there is a well-defined setup or the system which is involved in this respiration or which is needed for carrying out the respiration. So it is starting from our nose up to lungs. So we will go a bit more detail in that system. In addition to that, we will also learn how is this respiration in plant, that we also have to learn. So this thing we have to learn. Means respiration is basically the respiratory system we will learn. What is the respiration or the system required for respiration? Then how this occur in the plant. Exclusively we will learn about the lungs, the structure of lungs, how this exchange takes place, that we will learn. It's exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide that takes place. So it is the filter, about that detail we will learn, and how this is the oxygen is carried out to different cells, those things we will learn today. So a student, recalling the concept that we have discussed last day, we will learn the flow path. Flow path is very important. A student, once you remember or recall the flow path, how is the flow path and what is the interconnection, biology become very easy. So a student, respiration, we have learned that this respiration means the simple food gives energy. So this conversion occur at or inside cell. But for occurring this respiration, it needs oxygen. Means for aerobic respiration, oxygen is required. So this is supplied by the respiratory system. This respiratory system we have learned, it is nothing but it is starting from our nose to lungs. The purpose is to add oxygen to blood and remove CO2 from blood. This is the ultimate purpose of this. Okay. So how is this process? It is very important to understand. So what is that system that we have learned last day? Even we have just introduced. It was this one. It was this one. We will going to discuss in detail how is this structure. So this thing we are going to learn today. A student, for understanding this, let us connect our understanding or our knowledge of nutrition with this. Means what is the internal structure of our body? We have learned for the nutrition, we have mouth and there is a food cavity, I mean food pipe. Through that food pipe, the food is going to stomach. So that food pipe is also called as, what is the alternate name of this food pipe? Can any student tell me? Food pipe is called as esophagus. The student, I has already told you, neither you people are writing in chat nor communicating. It appears that you are just watching the movie. So a student, I had explained few things. Let me recall that. I had told you that One is for the mouth, another is starting from your nose. It is this one, the nose. I had also told you that this nose taking the air, and there is a windpipe, and that windpipe is in front. That last day we have drawn. And the food pipe is behind this, means it is our front facing. This is our back facing, means our back side. And just touching this, there is our food pipe. So this is our windpipe. Student, I will explain this figure, but first focus what I am drawing. This is our food pipe. These are the common terminologies, but there is a specific name for food pipe. The biological name of this food pipe is trachea. The biological name of this windpipe is, whether I'm correct? The student, whether I'm correct?
Yes, sir.
Trachea? No,
Yes, yes.
you have to quickly acknowledge. My purpose is even to check you people whether you people are sleeping or not. Okay, so be careful. At least you quickly write in chat no or yes if you do not want to tell in audio. Okay, or if you want to acknowledge, quickly tell yes or no. By that way we will remain intact. ये फीलिंग आता है कि आप पढ़ रहे हैं, मैं पढ़ा रहा हूं, नहीं तो आपको भी लगता है कि कोई मूवी चल रहा है, सुन करके सो जाना है करके. So a study is not like that. Please write everything. How I am drawing, you first draw that figure. Later on, I will explain in this figure. I have taken this figure from somewhere. There is certain error that I will tell you. And what is the exact process? Why not choking off our this windpipe when we are eating? Those things we are going to explain because these are quite common things. Why not it is going to choke? So all those things we will understand. Then we will go for the circulatory system if the time permits. A student, the biological name of this food pipe is your esophagus that we have learned. It is our esophagus. Write it. You first draw this figure. A student, whatever the figure I am drawing on the right hand side, you first draw that. It is our esophagus, and this windpipe is called as trachea. It is this one. A student, this is our nose, means it is our nose through which the air will enter. This is our mouth through which the food will enter. Last I had told you there is an interconnection. I mean these two cavity, nasal cavity and this mouth cavity is going to connect together. So there is a common reason. So a student, this is the common reason. And after that, it is again going to divide. Now the question is that if there is a common reason, then why not food is going to entering into our windpipe, and why not air is going to fill in our stomach? What is going to control that? So for that, we have to understand that there is a muscular lobe. That muscular lobe is called as epiglottis. A student, so here there is an epiglottis lobe. Whatever this region is there, let me draw with some different color. So whatever this region is there, a student, you have to make a lobe. This lobe is called as your epiglottis. This is our epiglottis. A student, this thing I am going to connect with the figure. See the top figure. Okay, a student, in this figure there is an error. I think you might have guessed that. So it is our esophagus and trachea. They are interchanged basically. Okay. So this portion, it is in the front. In the front, it is our trachea, and in the back side, it is our esophagus. The student, in this figure, a small correction is there. I have taken this figure from somewhere. It is helpful to understand, but some error are there. A student, this front one, I mean the front is that I have drawn in the figure also, the rough diagram. This is our windpipe is in our front. This you can observe by touching your neck or the throat. You are observing some ring of cartilage appear to us. Okay. So this itself verify that the front one is for the wind. So this is our trachea. And this one is our esophagus. Okay, means it is for the food. The food will enter into this, and the air will enter into this. Okay, student. So, student, the correction is done here. Now let us focus. Whatever the figure I had drawn, in that I had also drawn an epiglottis. Now focus over this. Here you are getting that epiglottis is what? It is a lobe. You are getting that this is the epiglottis. A student, so this epiglottis you have to understand. This epiglottis is nothing but just a muscular lobe. This epiglottis is acting as the directional wall, or this is acting as the bat which directs the ball, something like that. Okay. So how it directs, to understand that, this second figure is given. So student, if you focus over the first figure, this is the mouth through which the food have to be entered. This is the nasal cavity through which air have to be entered. A student, let us first understand what is the function of this epiglottis. Then we will write that statement in, compressed form. And what is the key point that we have to keep in mind, that I will write later. A student, epiglottis is a muscular lobe. Epiglottis is very important thing. It is being asked in many times in your examination. So this muscular lobe directs the food or restrict the food to entering into the windpipe. Means directs the food to go in the food pipe only. How? A student, this epiglottis is functioning in concurrence with another muscle which is called as soft plate. You might be getting. So it is what? It is this one. This is the soft plate. In the first figure, you just observe it. It is what is this soft plate. If I just magnify it, then it is our soft plate. A student, this lobe, this soft plate lobe and this epiglottis lobe, these concurrently, these two function together to decide the direction of food and air. A student, if we consider of food, then food, where this food have to go, observe carefully, this is our food pipe. So the food have to go in this food pipe, in the back side, or the tube which is behind this air pipe. Means for that, whatever the food, if I draw the path of this food, then this valve, I mean this first pipe need to be closed. For that, what will happen? This lobe will tilt and join this one. It will be the first thing that will happen. Means this lobe is going to connect with this one. At the same time, the food need not enter into our nose or nasal cavity. So this also have to move slightly upward so that the path become through for this food particle to go in this way. Okay, student. So this way, if you are taking the food, the epiglottis elongate to close the opening of trachea or windpipe and makes the food pipe opening through so that the food will enter into the food pipe only. Okay, student, it is the flow of this food. By this way, while we are just eating, for a moment, just the air intake is just for a fraction, even not even for a fraction of second, even in the millisecond, it is stopped and food is quickly passed to the our food pipe. And when the food is crossing, or when the food have crossed this epiglottis region, again this epiglottis get normalized to its normal position, and this soft plate means another muscular lobe that is also normalized, and in this way the windpipe or the opening for trachea is again made through for the passing of air to our lungs. This is depicted in this figure also. See, a student, if now we come on this second figure, so it is the food item. Here you are observing that while the food item is going to pass to this food pipe, this is our food pipe. Food pipe means it is our oesophagus. So while the food is passing through this oesophagus, at that time the windpipe is closed. Okay, this way the food enters into our stomach. So this will finally go to stomach. So this way the food is not going to disturb the windpipe or is not going to enter into our respiratory system or lungs. Once the food is passed, it is now normalized. Even you can also think, even under the normal condition, say both of this food pipe and windpipe is open, then this wind or this air is not going to affect our stomach. Okay, means because the stomach pressure itself is that much that whatever the air we are taking through the nose, that is not going to again compress our food. Get it? So that's why even under the normal condition this is open, means during the breathing, even if the trachea and oesophagus both are open, the air always enters into the trachea. So this is how the epiglottis controls the flow of air or ensures the flow of air. Another thing we will learn today, that during the respiration certain amount of air is always present in our heart or lungs, basically the lungs cavity. That air is called residuary air, and that air is sufficient to continue the respiration or sufficient to supply the oxygen entry or oxygen diffusion to the blood while we are taking the food, means while we are swallowing the food at that time. Because while you are taking your meal, it doesn't mean for half an hour you are going to stop your nose. No, just while you are swallowing, at that fraction of second your windpipe is closed. Getting, students? So this way the flow is ensured. This is one thing. So this we will write. A student, now what is this respiratory and lungs? It is this one. So in this, you need not mug up all these terms, but I have to display certain thing. Last day, we have started with this nasal cavity or nose, a student. So this nasal cavity and nose is this one. This nasal cavity, through this nasal cavity, it is going to enter into this windpipe. I mean, in this figure, it is written correct. Yes, it is larynx, pharynx, it is there. Then this connection, I mean, this initial connection where this foot pipe and windpipe is joining, or the common region, that basically gives the quality of sound. That one is called as your pharynx region. Okay, and this windpipe region means after division there is another small cavity. It is this one. Getting no, student? So that is called your larynx. So pharynx, larynx. These are basically for the sound, for deciding the sound. It is basically the pharynx which decides the sound, not the larynx. Larynx ensured your residual volume of air. क्योंकि ये cavity यहाँ होने से, while this epiglottis is going to be closed, sufficient air will be available for these lungs. Means even this path is closed for a moment, means this epiglottis is going to enter air, means going to close this, then still there will be sufficient volume of air. So that volume of air is present with the lungs. Now, a student, the air that have entered into our windpipe, this windpipe is called as trachea. It is this one. Now this trachea further get divided. Trachea is the thickest windpipe or the single pipe. It is going to divide into the two. Okay, that is the branching of trachea. That is called as bronchi or bronchus. Okay, student. So it is this part. I mean, this further broader division. These are called as the bronches. Now, this broader division, I mean, very thick to a bit thinner. Then these thinner are going to divide it into the thinnest one. Those thinnest one are called as the bronchioles. So here you have to observe the air is going to enter into this. These are the fine bronchioles. Okay, these are the fine bronchioles. Bronchioles. So these are the fine bronchioles. A student, if you come to the end of this bronchioles, it is like a sac. If I consider only this part, you are getting that this is like a balloon which is in the shrinked form. That is called as sac. Means flexible bag is called sac. On getting pressure, the bag will swell, and if the pressure is reduced, it will come to the normal shape. That is called as the sac. So this end portion of the bronchioles, that is called as your alveoli. Okay, so that alveoli basically able to shrink and exchange. What is going to happen here? Those things we are going to look. Collectively, these things, student, collectively, starting from your bronchus, bronchiole, this entire region is called as lungs. So if you want to find just one point of the lungs, no, it is the entire volume or the region which includes your alveoli, bronchi and bronchioles. Getting? So the alveoli is the filter or the sac. That is the ultimate unit where the exchange takes place. But these bronchus and bronchioles, these are the branching or these are the connection to these alveoli. So it is the lungs. So a student, keep in mind lungs doesn't mean like a single region or single organ. It consists of a network of sacs, means large number of sacs or membranes are there. So in this membrane, what we are observing, the air is here. The air which is going to enter through this windpipe, that will enter or that will remain on the inner side of this sac. Then on the outer side there is blood. So a student, in this region, whatever is this one, in this region or over this region, there are large number of blood vessels. So this is your blood vessels. It is like your blood capillaries, and blood veins are also there, that we will learn. So these capillaries, or in this thinner membrane, where on the one side the blood is flowing and on the other side there is air. So the fresh air contains large number of, or the higher concentration of oxygen. So because of concentration difference, the oxygen will diffuse to the secondary side, I mean diffuse in the blood. But at the same time, this blood is basically coming from our other organ or other cells. So it contains carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide will again diffuse back to the alveoli or alveoli sac. How is that process? That we will see in one more figure. A student, now these lungs, below this lungs, there is a diaphragm. Diaphragm is what? It is like a cartilage, basically, not the very hard bone. So this is able to change their shape. If the lungs is going to swell, this diaphragm will be pushed downward, means breathing, intake, or during inhalation, this diaphragm will move downward. But during exhalation, when the lungs will shrink, this will move upward. So the breathing is only up to this much, just ensuring the supply of air to the blood. That is the function of only breathing, or the presence of oxygen in the air and ultimately removing the carbon dioxide from the air in our lungs. That is the purpose of breathing. But respiration is going to occur in different cells. So these blood capillaries, these will gain oxygen and it will given to, and finally it will go to different cells. So how is this? That we are going to write. So this entire process we will write once again. Students, so let us write few points before going ahead. So this diaphragm is another important thing.
Sir,
Yes, tell me.
sir, I have a doubt.
Yeah, tell me. Ask. What is the doubt?
Sir, we have epiglottis. Then why do we get hiccups?
Hiccups is a different thing. That is because of your stomach or the extra pressure in your food. It is like that one. That is. I mean, basically a temporary malfunctioning, or say the acid produced in our stomach, I mean excess acid. So it is because of that process. Okay, so that is basically not the normal functioning. It is basically while you have the hiccup, or while you have the excess air trap in certain region, whether it is in our stomach or even if it is in our respiratory system, that have to be released. So ultimately, while you are taking, or while you have these hiccups, at that time you are releasing something from your body to outward, which was temporarily trapped. Okay, it is something like that. So that is not the normal functioning. It is basically the muscular, sometimes dysfunctioning or not able to do their intended work, at that time it arises. Once you eat something and certain thing, it get normalized. I mean, this muscular disturbance, basically how they have to function, that get disturbed slightly. It is that one. Students, so let us write for epiglottis. What is epiglottis? Any student have any more doubt, then please ask. So students, once again, let us observe this carefully. And it is in this. So epiglottis is nothing but this is a muscular lobe. That is one thing. And this is going to direct the food. The purpose is only that much. So let us write. It is our epiglottis. So right, it is muscular lobe. It is muscular lobe. Lobe means what? Certain extended portion of any muscle. That is called the lobe. Okay, like in our ear, there is a lobe. It is muscular lobe which directs the food into food pipe. Or esophagus. Okay, the purpose is that one. It is direct. Another thing is, it ensures that none of the food enters in our windpipe. So this way, it ensures that food do not enter into windpipe, because there is a common opening for both, means trachea. It is this one. So these two are the important significance of this epiglottis. What is this? It is the muscular lobe. It just avoid the choking of the windpipe. So hence it avoids choking of windpipe while eating. So this thing you have to keep in mind. Another thing, recall your concept that this windpipe means trachea have a ring of cartilage that gives the protection to avoid the collapsing. Even the food is passing through the windpipe and these two are touching, then it will not collapse because of that ring of cartilage. So right, not collapsing of windpipe is protected through ring of cartilage. So this we have already learned. So this is the importance of our epiglottis, nothing else. Now let me go for how is this entire process.
So can you show the previous page just once?
Just write it quickly.
सर
हाँ बोलिए।
सर
हाँ बोलिए।
सर why windpipe collapses?
अभी आप ये देखिए, आप जब खाना खा रहे हैं, अभी हमने आपको यहाँ पे समझाया है, इधर इधर देखिए, ये जब आप खाना खा रहे हैं, फूड इज गोइंग टू एंटर हेयर, तो फूड का यदि ज्यादा वॉल्यूम है तो ये क्या, यदि फ्लेक्सिबल रहेगा तो ये इसे पुश कर सकता है, वन थिंग। अनदर थिंग, इवन इफ यू आर लेइंग से downward with your face downward on the bed, what can happen? Or even if certain person is going to uh, I mean catch your neck at that time, what is the possibility? That even by touching this, if this is the very much soft, then just by touching with the other thing, this pipe is going to, these two surfaces are going to touch each other. When these two surfaces or the pipe hole or the pipe thickness is reduced, ultimately no supply of air will be there. That is called collapsing. Okay, so collapsing is not the normal phenomena. Getting? It is extraordinary condition which may occur. So it is not the usual thing which is to be prohibited. So this is a kind of protection. See, there are various protection available in our body. You know what is our skull? This is very hard. Is this very hard skull is required? No, but it is possibility that you will put something on your head, then the nervous cell and other thing, may compress our brain and other area of this head. So therefore the protection is given. So God had made all such arrangement very nicely, and we have learned to build other machine based on these observation only, even the robot or whatever the other machine. So collapsing simply means that any incidental condition where there is a chance that these two surfaces of the wind pipe is going to touch each other. Okay, it is that one only. Student, so let me go for the respiratory thing.
Sir,
Once, हाँ बोलिए नीरज.
can you show the previous page once again, sir? That last.
This one, this you want to see?
Yes, sir. Little bit down, sir. Down.
This one? It is this one or this one? Which one? This one you want?
Sir, no. At the now you have written that 31st page only.
This was the last page that I had discussed. Only I had discussed or written that much only. Which part do you
Now
need?
which now
See,
you have written note no.
okay, that area. Basically, you want. It is this one. So collapsing. You mean that?
Yes.
Write it quickly. A student, we will write the entire process, how this respiration is going to occur and how this exchange is going to take place.
Sir.
Okay. The student, to explain this, I think if I have another figure, then let me take. Okay, this is a good figure, but I need something more where the blood vessel is also shown. Let me take once more this figure. We will understand once again and how the entire circulation is going to take place. That we will understand. So it will help us. In addition to this, I need the other one. I think I have here. Yes, it is also correct. Okay. Yes, let me take this a smaller figure. Let me take one more figure. This is also okay. Let me take this figure. With the help of this figure, you can understand very easily what is going to happen. Yes, student, these are the three figures. With help of that, I am going to explain everything. And I will write the entire process. I mean, going out of this respiratory system, we will enter into the circulatory system and we will understand how these are functioning together. Okay? Everything we will see. Students, let me draw in rough diagram so that you can also draw. Student, so I will focus over the respiratory system only. So it is your nose, nose means nasal cavity. This is your trachea. Then it is going to enter into bronchi, then bronchioles. So let me just draw only one figure or only one branching. So there is many branching. Again, thinner branching. So it is like this one. Student, let me just take only one end. यहाँ से बहुत सारे हैं. It is the network, but I am going to just end this one. This is the membrane. I have just taken one of the back. Student, this membrane, I mean the end of this opening. Keep in mind, nose is open where the air is going to enter. That air contain the oxygen and we have to focus over this oxygen. It will enter into our nose, it will go to the windpipe called trachea, and after that it will enter or it will get divided into the even slightly thinner, still very much thicker, bronchi, then further thinner one, bronchioles, then finally to the bag or the closing membrane. So this membrane is your closed. This you have to keep in mind. Here this is closed. Getting? So let us write this quickly. What are the few important things? Let us allocate. Very first is the nose or nasal cavity. Then it will go to the trachea. Then it will go to the, see this thicker one, bronchi, then bronchioles, then alveoli sac. So let me write also the broader one. You also have to write. And these thinner, these thinner one, these are our, whether you take this one or this one, all these are bronchioles. Okay, and this bag, this closing, this is called as alveoli. So since it is a bag, so also called as alveoli sac or alveoli bag or balloon. So it is this one. A student, we have to keep in mind, it is this branching, it is this branching. So when the air will enter into this is able to swell. So this can swell and shrink. Getting a student? Swelling when the air means during inhalation. So it is during inhalation. Inhalation means intake of breath while you are taking the air inside. And this is during exhalation. Means releasing the breath or outflow or releasing. It is this part, means inhalation and exhalation. How this exchange occurred, that is important. And after exchange, what is going to happen with the oxygen, where it will go, and how the respiration will occur, and after that what will happen back. How is the reverse process? Everything we will write. Though right now we have not learned in detail about the circulatory system, but the part of circulatory system we are going to touch here. That is convenient to understand. देखिए, first figure I have just taken. How is this structure? This sac is able to swell, means when the sufficient oxygen is there. This is called as alveoli. This shrinked part, that is called as alveoli sac. A student, now just focus over one of the membrane. Just even if you are considering this part is only, say, drawn here. It is this one. It is this one. Okay, student. See, the air have entered here. A student, now the air is going to enter in what? So let me take this as the black one. The air. Air means it is our O2 rich. It is going to enter into this. This part is what? It is same as this entry. Student, अभी आपको कहीं कंफ्यूज नहीं होना, ये वही एंट्री है जो हमने यहाँ पे बनाए थे. अभी आप ये देखिए, once the air have entered, this sac have swelled. Student, आप ये देखिए, ये जो inner region है, इसमें कुछ नहीं है. It consists of only air. इसके अंदर air भरा है. इसके अंदर कोई blood या पानी ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है. It is totally having air. Keep in mind, there are certain moisture and something is also there. Certain moisture is there. And when the common problem or in some case you might have heard that lungs is filled with water, what is going to happen? The water from the blood is being diffused into this vacant balloon, which need to contain air, but certain area or certain region is being filled with the water, which is being diffused from this blood. Okay, so that is basically a disease. Otherwise it is totally dry or even contain the moist air or very negligible amount of water, you can say like that. Now, student, you have to focus carefully. This air and oxygen means oxygen rich air is going to enter into this balloon. This balloon is what? This balloon is your alveoli. It is this one. It is this one. So this is your alveoli. This entire portion is your alveoli. It is basically this inner balloon, inner surface of the balloon and inner membrane, that is called alveoli. So this part is of your, keep in mind, just one of this balloon I have taken, not the entire one. It is alveoli. A student, alveoli is the inner balloon and inner surface only. A student, over this alveoli there is another thing. You might be getting a tube is flowing over this. This is the blood vessel or blood tube which is touching each and every alveoli. Okay, means one of the membrane is even common. Here it appears it is nearly common or touching. So in this case, the blood is going to enter. Blood, here this is the blood, and this part, this is blood capillary. Student, you have to draw this alveoli ka part and how this respiration occur. It is asked. Ye chota sa portion what I am explaining, you have to draw only this bag. Over that you have to draw the blood capillary, and in that blood capillary or in that tube, what you have to do and how you have to draw, you watch carefully. So this is the reason where the blood is going to enter. Right now, it may be possible that you may think it is going to enter from the lower one, but it is the impure blood which is going to enter. Okay, impure blood are what? Those blood which have lower concentration of oxygen or which have higher concentration of carbon dioxide, or the blood which is coming from the body cells. Okay, so it is the blood from body cell. So this blood is your impure blood. This impure blood means it contains carbon dioxide, or concentration of carbon dioxide is very high in this. So see, that's why to distinguish that, it is drawn in the blue color in this figure. So this carbon dioxide is dissolved in our blood cell or blood plasma. A student, let me write, CO2 is dissolved in blood plasma. What is this blood plasma? Blood have different component. There are certain cells and certain fluid. These cells are three kinds: white blood cell, red blood cell, and blood platelet. And another one, the fluid in which all these cells are hanging, that fluid is called as the plasma. This fluid contains water in maximum amount. Okay, so it is liquid reason. It is not the cell or blood fluid basically. So this CO2 is dissolved in the blood plasma. A student, if I just consider the blood, let me just draw it. अभी just छोटा सा मैं draw करिए blood है क्या? We will learn in more detail in next. So if I am considering just certain amount of blood, it is this one. Then this blood contain basically three kind of cell and one of the liquid. So it contain different cells. So one cell I have drawn in the blue color. This blue color cell is your WBC. Another, it contain the red color cell, but that size is smaller. So let us consider it on a scale. Because WBC is bigger in size, so it is the other kind of cell. There is even one more kind of cell or let me take in some other color, black itself. So these are the three kind of cell which is dissolved in this. This red color cell is RBC, and these contain the iron and the protein which binds this iron, which contains this iron, or the pigment, red color pigment contains the hemoglobin. This hemoglobin have the special feature to absorb or to club with or to get connected with oxygen. So these have the feature of connecting with oxygen. So this is for oxygen affinity. So oxygen affinity. Affinity means loving. Means it have tendency to attach with oxygen. The next blood cell is our this one. This is our platelet. What are the functions that we will learn later? WBC help in fighting with the disease or antigens. RBC help in carrying the oxygen. Platelet help in plugging the leaks, like if your tube is cut or if any wound develops, then the platelet is going there and it is making some closing path. Okay, it is this. And after this three kind of cell, one more thing is there. It is our this one, this fluid. So whatever this fluid, it is our plasma. A student, plasma have affinity with CO2. So it is CO2 loving or CO2 affinity. A student, this characteristic of blood you have to keep in mind. What is that characteristic? The very first and important characteristic is that blood contain RBC which have the pigment hemoglobin, and this hemoglobin attach with oxygen. Okay, blood have another fluid component called plasma which have tendency to attach with carbon dioxide. Okay, so carbon dioxide and oxygen are carried by different component of blood. It was also asked in NTSC and many examinations. So you have to be very careful which one is doing what and what is the role of which component of this blood. We will learn in more detail in our next chapter. But here what is useful for us is that this oxygen is going to attach with the hemoglobin of the blood. So a student, coming to this figure, alveoli. So alveoli on the left down corner, I'm in this figure. A student, the air have entered into this alveoli bag or alveoli sac, it have been swelled. But on the secondary side of this alveoli bag, there is blood capillary. In this blood capillary, this blood, whatever I have explained here, that is continuously flowing. While this blood is coming from body, it contains large amount of carbon dioxide. Therefore, it is called as impure blood. And this impure blood is going to enter into this lungs. I mean, this alveoli collectively called as lungs, means the blood have entered into lungs. In this, while entering into this lungs capillary, it will come in the region where alveoli bag is in contact with this. Then in that region where these two are in contact, here the oxygen from the inner side is going to diffuse into this capillary which contain the impure blood. Impure blood means that have carbon dioxide. So oxygen is going to diffuse from the inside of this alveoli bag to the blood. Now a student, at the same time, the carbon dioxide is going to diffuse the capillary into this bag. Get it? So a student, carbon dioxide is coming out of this blood. This way, the concentration of carbon dioxide in the blood plasma is going to reduce, and the amount of oxygen trapped by hemoglobin is going to increase. So such a blood which contains oxygen but lesser amount of carbon dioxide or no carbon dioxide, that is called as pure blood. So this exchange occur over the surface area or over the membrane of this alveoli, and finally whatever the blood which is coming out of this, it is the pure blood. Pure blood means oxygen rich. Oxygen is present in this blood, but carbon dioxide is removed. So in this way, these alveoli help in replacement or exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide in the blood. Okay, I hope this part is over. So what is going to happen in this? By this process, this oxygen enters in blood. It is blood capillary basically, and at the same time CO2 removes from blood. A student, such a blood which contain oxygen in large amount, so this is called as purified. It is your purified blood. This is called as impure blood. A student, what is going to happen? The oxygen rich blood is going to come out. Here I had explained. From where this is coming out? Earlier the carbon dioxide rich blood have entered over the surface of this alveoli. So this way, this purification or filtration is done by alveoli. So therefore, this way the blood is purified by alveoli by the exchange of O2. And CO2. This CO2 is basically replaced by O2. That is CO2 replaced by O2. A student, CO2 replaced by O2 means in entire blood, the CO2 have removed and O2 have entered. But do not think O2 and CO2 are present at the same location or at the same site where the CO2 was present, now O2 is present. No. A student, O2 is present with hemoglobin because hemoglobin is free to attract the oxygen in this alveoli region. And CO2 is made free by the blood plasma because CO2 is dissolved in blood plasma. So it is not at the same site or same region, but in the different region of the blood. So this way, this is called your purification. So therefore, this alveoli, whatever I have plotted here, this alveoli is acting as a filter for is like like a filter. A student, the term like filter is quite frequently used because we will learn in excretory system there is kidney. The kidney have also the similar kind of thin membrane or membranous network that is called nephron. So nephron is unit like the alveoli which is present in our heart. Again the exchange takes place, but the exchange there is of the impurities or impure solid that we will learn later. So it is the filtering unit, but it is the filtering unit for gaseous exchange. Alveoli is like a filter for gaseous exchange. It is this one. So this is the function of alveoli, what the alveoli did, what the alveoli is. Okay, student, any doubt then please ask. Otherwise, now I will go ahead of this alveoli. Means after alveoli, what will happen? Any doubt then please ask. Yes, students? No doubt? Let me correct this spelling itself. A student, here we have learned one thing. I had just considered one bag or one alveoli sac from where we have observed that impure blood converted into pure blood. Pure blood means oxygen rich blood. So therefore in this figure the color change is indicating that impure blood means blue blood which was entering here, and finally the red blood which is coming out. Now where this blood is again going? A student, for that let us come to this third figure. A student, whatever these big balloons are drawn, these balloons are your alveoli. This you have to keep in mind. So air is going to enter here. A student, it is the air which is going to enter here. So therefore it is written as air. So air is present in this balloon. Earlier I had shown this in the small figure. Now whatever the network or one of the capillary I have drawn there or we had taken there, it is not only one capillary. A student, a network means it is membrane, means large amount or infinite number, almost infinite number of blood capillaries there. So how is that? A student, you can see just again one of the blood, one or two of the alveoli sac is taken. Over this, whatever the network you are getting, that network is network of capillary. In this, blood is going to flow from one direction and going to come out from the other direction. Okay, how is that? It is also shown here. A student, the blue blood which is going to enter into this capillary, it is this one. A student, mind this. This is the impure blood. It is blood from body. This blood from body is called impure blood. It contains CO2. Therefore, it is drawn in blue color in this figure. Now, a student, there are large number of branching. Even while this capillary, that we will learn what are the various tubes, when it enters the blood capillaries, when they are entering into these lungs, on the secondary side of lungs, means on the other side of this alveoli bag, there are large number of branchings. Getting? So this is the branching of the blood capillaries. What are the various branches that we will also learn? Like it starts from aorta and various other things. So a student, it is going to divide into the smaller one. These smaller capillaries are touching this alveoli bag. This fine network is called as the capillary, and again afterward it will come back. Again it will combine to give a thicker blood tube. So this return path is called as veins. So this way it will again come back and it will again join, and this way the pure blood it will go to body. So these have sufficient oxygen. To body means it will get distributed throughout the body. How is that? For that the circulatory system comes into picture. How is that? Let me take one more figure. The student, afterward, I think this we will discuss in more detail in circulatory system also, but I think this way you can understand where it is going to do what. Student, we have to understand now these two figures carefully. Okay, I think it is okay. Student, this is the lungs. I mean, this portion, what is drawn here, it is the lungs. This was the blood from body. It contains CO2. It will pass over the alveoli membrane, and finally it will come back out of this. So while it is coming out of this, it becomes blood to body. It is from body, it is to body. Okay, student? This has sufficient oxygen. So this way, this carbon dioxide is replaced by oxygen. This much we have learned. Now, inside body, how it is going and what are these different tubes that we will see. A student, whatever this blue line, the same is also depicted here. So you are getting, this was our lungs. Whatever we have drawn here was the lungs. A student, so the lungs, I mean this part, this entire filter, this filter is this filtering unit, this is your lungs. It is this one. Means the alveoli part, bronchioles part, that is. But that is getting the blood from body. From body doesn't mean from different cell, it is directly entering into the lungs. So from body, it is first going to enter into our heart. From the heart, it is going to enter into our lungs. Then, after purification, the purified blood is again going to going to enter into our heart, and from the heart it is again going to be pumped to different part of the body. So see how is that? So this what I am taking from the body, that I am calling here body, it is basically the heart. It is our human heart. A student, this heart is designed here or drawn here like this one. You are getting no? This part is representing your heart, human heart. So a student, I will start from this lungs region. So the blood is entering into lungs. From where it is entering, and this blood is coming, this is coming from the heart. It is this one. So this entry first occur. There is a specific tube which is coming from this heart to push the blood in our lungs capillary. That specific kind of tube is called pulmonary artery. Okay. So this pulmonary artery is nothing but it is the artery. Arteries are the thicker tube that we will learn. Artery, arterioles, capillary, then it is going to veins. Okay. Veins, then veins are collecting, combining together to form vena cava. So those things we will learn. So you have to just keep in mind, through a thicker tube, the blood or impure blood from the heart is going to pump into these lungs. Okay. Then in these lungs, this blood will get purified and it will again enter into our lungs. It will not directly go to body. So here, whatever the body we are writing, it is again heart. But this is a different chamber, this is a different chamber. Otherwise, the two blood will mix again. There will be no, if there is no any segregation. So therefore, heart consists, or human heart is 4 chamber. This 4 chambered means 4 compartment, or 4 parts, or 4 cavity. Means it is 4 cavity. Different cavity have different roles and different name that we will see. Okay. So it is atrium and ventricles that we will see. I mean, in next class, I think today we cannot reach up to that much. So it is the 4 region. So 4 region may be draw like this. We will also learn it is our left artery, to left ventricle, right arteries and right ventricle. This we will learn next class. Just for understanding, I have written here that it is our, so this heart is nothing but it is a 4th chamber. So that's why you are getting here the 4 pipes are coming. A student, so the blood have say come from this region, the blood had came out and it is going to enter into this region. In which region it is exactly going to enter, this we will see in heart, but it is like this one. So it is this one where the lungs is connected. It will be the simplified figure. This we are going to see in next class. Students, so this way you are getting that pure blood is again entering into our lungs on the other compartment. Now this pure blood is again pushed into this ventricle region. So this is acting as a valve. I will explain in next class. Then it is going to blood, I mean to different body part. So this is what from the heart again the thick tube is coming, that is called arterioles, that further get branched into atriums. So that we will see, this is going to branch here. Now this branching, through this branching, it is going to enter into our hand, legs, head, all those places. So this part is our body cells. I mean these fiber, I mean this network what is drawn here in the lower part, it is the body cells. Means over the body cells the blood capillary is distributed. This is nothing but this is the blood capillary over body cells. Okay, this was the blood capillary over alveoli. This was the blood capillary over alveoli. Okay, student. So this was in the lungs and this was our body. I was just roughly writing here as the body, okay, considering the lungs as a reference. But body doesn't mean lungs is directly going to push to different cells. No, because there could not be sufficient pressure for movement. Pressure or external force is required. That external force or pressure is generated by this heart. Okay, student. So this is very important. So you may write this part as heart. So after this body cells, means inside the body cells, it may be our fingertip, it may be our head, it may be our toes, all the body cells. There, whatever the oxygen that is present here, where this oxygen is being added, here the oxygen is being added. Now this oxygen is taken by different cells and inside the cell CO2 is produced. How the CO2 is produced? Through the respiration. So right here, CO2 is produced inside cells through respiration. Then it means it is CO2 enters into the blood capillaries. Over these cells. If not directly to individual cell, then to the adjacent cell. This way it is being diffused. Okay, student? It means this CO2 is produced inside the cell, then it is diffused into the blood. Now, see, a student, now this CO2 reached blood, means it is called as impure blood. That is now again going to collect back into our heart, one of this chamber of this heart. So it is from body, and here it is going to body. I will draw this block diagram very neatly next day. There we will learn very clearly what are the different four chambers from where it is entering. Various things are there that we will learn tomorrow. So a student, this way an impure blood enters into the heart. Now this heart is again going to pump this impure blood into the lungs. So therefore this impure blood means CO2 containing blood. It is being carried by this tube. Then it is again purified, again pushed to the heart, again pushed to the body. This way there is a continuous circulation of blood in our body, and through this blood the oxygen is supplied to the different cells, and from the cells the CO2 is collected back and it is again exchanged in this lungs. Student, this is how the circulation of oxygen takes place. Any doubt, then please ask to me. Just for your understanding, what are these pipe? Let me read that. The pipe which is pushing the impure blood. Okay. The pipe which is pushing this impure blood to this lungs is called pulmonary artery. And the pipe, I mean the thicker tube, which is formed after connecting the capillaries into veins, that is called as the pulmonary vein. This pulmonary vein is carrying pure blood. This pure blood is going to enter into the heart, I mean basically the right atrium of the heart. Then it will go to the right ventricle of the heart. From there, it will again come back. I mean, these are the different compartments. It is like this one. It is like this compartment. Okay. Then it will go to the body. From the body or from the different cells of body, it will again get impure. I mean, the blood become impure because of addition of carbon dioxide. Means it collects the carbon dioxide from different cells of the body. Then it is again pushed back into our heart, one of the compartment of heart, that is our left atrium of the heart. Then it will enter into the left ventricle of the heart, there to the lungs through this pulmonary artery. Keep in mind, the thick tube which is pushing the impure blood to the lungs is called pulmonary artery, and the thick tube which is collecting the pure blood from the lungs and pushing it to the heart, it is called pulmonary vein. So it is here impure blood from the heart. The thick tube which is coming out and going to different body part, it is called aorta. Okay, aorta divided into the arteries, then atriums, those things we will see, then to capillaries, then to veins, then to vena cava. So that part occur in this branching, I mean in the part of the body. So ultimately this vena cava is again coming back from our body and supplying the blood. Which kind of blood? The impure blood, because from the body we are collecting the blood which contain the carbon dioxide. So that impure blood to the one compartment of this heart, that is our left atrium. Okay, then it will go to the left ventricle, then it will again go to the lungs where the blood get purified. So this way the complete cycle continues forever, once or since the date of birth till we are taking the breath. Okay, so non-stop this circulation is going on. This heart is wonderful part which is continuously shrinking and swelling, that is called the rhythmic motion or rhythmic contraction. By that rhythmic contraction, it is pumping the blood, and these special muscle which have this characteristic of rhythmic vibration is called as the cardiac muscle. So cardiac muscle only in our heart. So this is how the oxygen is being moving throughout our body. Students, so this way I had explained everything. Now let me write this entire process. Whatever I have discussed, I will just write this in the arrow diagram form so that will be convenient for you, and that you have to keep in mind. So let me write that. The students, you are there, no? Because on other screen I am out. Yes. A student, so we will start from our nose, where the blood is, where the air or oxygen is entering. So Let me start with the atmospheric air itself. A student, atmospheric air means it contain oxygen, means oxygen rich air. It's simple mean that it goes to our nose, nasal cavity, to the windpipe. That windpipe is called as your trachea. From this trachea, it will enter into the bag, the sac, that is called as the alveoli sac or alveoli bag, or the alveoli itself. I am writing the alveoli itself. A student, this is the crucial point, what is going to happen in alveoli, that you have to keep in mind. A student, what will happen? It contains this oxygen. So write the process here. Oxygen will diffuse, means enter, or trap, will diffuse. Diffuse means enter into blood. Now this oxygen is held by which component of the blood? Yes, student. And this is trapped by hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is a pigment. In short, this hemoglobin is denoted by Hb. Okay, so this occur, it is the one part where oxygen is trapped by hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is present in our red blood cell, in RBC. Means RBC have captured the oxygen. Get it? At the same time, another activity occur over the surface of this alveoli. What is that? So right, but here CO2 will diffuse from blood plasma to air space in alveoli. Will diffuse from blood. A student, which part of the blood? It is the plasma. ये पूछा जाएगा हमारे एनटीएस एस्पिरेंट को कि कौन सा पार्ट कहां है, किससे कहां डिफ्यूज हुआ करके. नॉट फ्रॉम द ब्लड टू द alveoli sac, but it will ask from plasma to alveoli sac. NTSC and आपके academic में यही difference है. You have to go to minute detail and understand everything. Means from the blood plasma into the air space of which one? Alveoli. Okay, or inside the alveoli. It have entered inside the alveoli, यानी कि alveoli के inside चला गया कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड. लेकिन ऑक्सीजन कहां चला गया? ऑक्सीजन देखिए स्टूडेंट्स, ये हमारे ब्लड में चला गया है. यानी क्या? alveoli के जो इनसाइड रीजन से बाहर चला गया है, कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड अंदर आ गया है alveoli में. तो ये जब हम एक्सेलेशन करेंगे तो क्या होगा? ये कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड हमारे नोज से बाहर चला जाएगा. सो विच इज एक्सेलेटेड out during breathing. तो ये देखिए, जब हम आउटवर्ड ब्रीदिंग करेंगे यानी कि एक्सहेलेशन करेंगे तो ये कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड बाहर चला जाएगा। तो जस्ट हम देखें तो एक्सचेंज हमारे लंग्स के इनर पार्ट में और एल्वोली के इनर पार्ट में जस्ट इतना ही हुआ। स्टूडेंट ये देखिए, जो एयर बाहर है ये जस्ट हमने इनहेल किया। दिस एंट्री ऑफ एटमॉस्फेरिक air into our nose is called as inhalation. Okay, and the removal of this carbon dioxide is called as exhalation. So inhalation exhalation आए तो ये मिल करके एक ब्रीदिंग कहलाता है, दोनों मिला करके एक साइकिल बनता है। ओके स्टूडेंट, नाउ स्टूडेंट what is important from here is this part. Now I am going to draw in red because now we have reached to the blood, where this blood is going to do what? So this blood means ultimately it is going into capillaries of the lungs. So this way, मैं जो रेड पार्ट में बना रहा हूं ये हमारे ब्लड का पार्ट है, ये आपको ध्यान में रखना है। It will go into the capillaries, means blood capillaries ऑफ लंग्स। स्टूडेंट ये अभी लंग्स के कैपिलरी मीन्स अभी जो हमने पीछे जो दिखलाए थे ना, दिस पार्ट, आई मीन दिस पार्ट, आई एम टॉकिंग फॉर दिस पार्ट। ओके नो, आई एम टॉकिंग फॉर दिस पार्ट, दिस पार्ट, इस पार्ट के बारे में भी मैं बात कर रहा हूं। तो ये लंग्स के कैपिलरी में ऑक्सीजन अभी डिफ्यूज हो गया है। अभी ये लंग्स से स्टूडेंट किधर जाता है, अभी हमने आपको बताया। If you could recall that tube also you have to keep in mind. It is called as pulmonary vein. Let us verify it. See here student, ये ऑक्सीजन यहाँ ऐड हो गया है, ये पल्मिनरी वेन को जाएगा। यहां से MCQs एंड चीजें बहुत सारी आती हैं, so we have to understand very carefully. एंड आपको ये डायग्राम बार बार याद रखने हैं। इट इज रिप्रेजेंटेशन ऑफ इंटायर चैप्टर्स एंड एंटायर प्रोसेस। सो लैंग्वेज के बदले इसीलिए मैं इसको प्रीफर करता हूं। So it will enter into the special kind of vein called pulmonary vein. Pulmonary term is used for the tube which is connecting the heart to lungs. So it is pulmonary vein or veins you may write. Okay student, from this pulmonary vein where it will go? So it will go to heart. आप जस्ट ब्रैकेट में लिख लीजिए, इट इज आवर लेफ्ट एट्रियम. It will go into our left atrium. It will go to your left ventricle, that I will show you. How is that? So inside this two chamber it will move. Then the thicker tube which is coming out of this heart, it will be, or this thick tube is called as aorta. AORTA, whatever you read, aorta or aorta. Then this will divide into a bit thinner, that is called as arteries. These are the different tubes through which the blood is flowing. Likewise, the air initially entering into our trachea was distributed to the next thinner level of tube called bronchi, then to further thinner or the thinnest one tube called as bronchioles. In the similar fashion, the thick tube for carrying the blood is, or the thickest tube for carrying the blood is aorta. Then it is going to enter into the thinner tube called arteries. Then to the further thinner tube, it is called as capillaries. Capillaries are what? These are the thin membrane or thin tube which are in contact with the cells. I mean different cells of the body. So it become capillaries of what? Of body. A student, do not get confused. Capillaries, I mean the network of thin tube is present in our lungs also. So that was for the respiratory part, for the exchange of oxygen and CO2. This capillary is of the different body part. Now here at this capillary, again wherever capillary means some exchange will be there. That is the filter. So at this capillary means this body means body cells basically, a student. So in this capillary, oxygen which is being carried by the blood, that is injected into the cells. So oxygen in blood absorbed by cells. Okay, student? Oxygen in blood means oxygen trapped by the hemoglobin that is being entered into the cells of the body. So while oxygen is taken by the cell, this way hemoglobin become free. So now hemoglobin is free, but in this region the carbon dioxide in cells is diffused into blood. A student, here this carbon dioxide and it is trapped by blood plasma of blood. So here the plasma get loaded. Okay now? So in this case, plasma loaded means plasma get attached with carbon dioxide. But inside this capillary or in the different cells, the hemoglobin becomes free. So such a blood which contain carbon dioxide and lacking in oxygen is called impure blood. Thus, impure blood collected by return capillary. This return capillary is called as your veins. A student, so when the capillaries are again going to join the thicker tube, that tube is called as the vein. Okay, means capillaries are going to form the veins. So a student, you have to write here, after this means from this capillary or at the capillary, this process will occur where the blood become impure. It will go into or enter into the veins. Now these veins, which are the thin return line, student, these are the veins. Okay now, I mean this blue color, which is the return line of this capillary. Again it become thicker. They combining to form the thicker return tube for the heart, that is called as vena cava. To a student, so these veins are joining to form the thicker return tube called vena cava. Now through this vena cava, where it will go? It will again go into heart. It will again go into heart. A student, again, heart, one of the chamber to other chamber, again to the lungs it have to go. So it enters into the right atrium to right ventricle. This thing we will learn in the structure of this heart, but you just understand it is going to the heart. Then from the heart it is going to where? Again for the lungs through the tube. That thick tube is called as pulmonary artery. Now this pulmonary artery will go where? It is already, I think we are in this cycle. It is our capillaries of lungs. A student, what was this? I think it might be somewhere. A student, capillary of lungs means, see, let me connect these two. So it is nothing but it is this one. It is this one. So this way blood is circulating continuously in a closed path, and in lungs they are getting the oxygen and getting rid of the carbon dioxide, and in the body capillary they are releasing the oxygen for the useful function of cells and collecting the byproduct carbon dioxide for exhalation in lungs. So this is the entire process that you have to keep in mind. This way, after this, what will happen? A student, it is same as this one, means the CO2 is now present here. So it is like this one, and this again takes the return path same as this one. Okay, it is like this one. It is like our trachea to this one, to this one. I mean not this one, O2, but air out with CO2. So this is our air out. It contains the CO2. Through the nose, it is coming out. So this was our exhalation route, means the air have came out. This was our inhalation route. So it is our exhalation route. So this way, always O2 is carried inside, O2 is carried inside, O2 is entered inside, and this way whatever this CO2 have produced here, that is being carried outward. So this return route is our CO2. So this way how the respiration is assisted by our respiratory organ called lungs. So today we have analyzed everything, how the oxygen enter, where the exchange, I mean this oxygen converted into carbon dioxide in different body cells during respiration, then CO2 again coming back to the lungs and it is accelerated. So this was the entire cycle. Student, please ask me any doubt. Was I clear? और यदि अभी भी किसी को डाउट है तो पूछिए हमसे, क्योंकि आज हमने सारा का सारा कुछ आपको बताया. And this thing we will again come back exclusively this part in our circulatory system. But I have used the part of circulatory system here. I mean basically the flow path to make you understand how this entire process is going to occur. Student, any doubt? Then please ask. Everyone have written everything? Then we will stop the class here. But for that, we have to write the homework. Student, what is inside our book? After respiration is there? Yes. So these question which are related to respiration you have to do. स्टूडेंट आप अपने घर में ये रेस्पिरेशन टॉपिक को पढ़ेंगे मन से? कोई डाउट हो तो पूछिए। हमने हर चीज बहुत ही बारीकी से छोटे छोटे वर्ड्स में एंड स्टेटमेंट में लिख के फ्लो डायग्राम बनाकर आपको समझाया है। ऐसे आपको बुक में भले ही मिले नहीं, बट आपको बुक पढ़ने हैं। बुक पढ़ने से अब आप इन चीजों को अच्छा कनेक्ट कर पाएंगे। सॉरी, okay, I'm not able to copy it here. I think at the last moment every day some problem starts in copying and pasting. So let me write the page number itself. It is just before your transportation section. So it is on page number 105. Student, blue question of our textbook, page number 105. Please do this and prepare for your maths test. Let me postpone the maths test. आप लोग अपना ये करते नहीं क्या घर में बच्चे? आप लोग